Adobe beat earnings, beat revenue, issued strong guidance. The stock hit a fresh 52-week low. This is not sell the news. This is something deeper, and the chart tells the whole story after market recap. In Asia, the Nikkei edged up 0.06% to 64,217, recovering from a nearly 3% intraday drop as Iran deal hopes emerged. The Hang Seng fell 0.65% to 24,249. In Europe, the DAX was flat at 24,209, up 0.06%. The CAC gained 0.48% to 8,200. The FTSE rose 0.48% to 10,303. In the U.S. on Thursday, markets surged. President Trump canceled planned strikes against Iran and signaled a peace deal was close. The Dow jumped 929 points, 1.86%, back above 50,000 to 50,848. The S&P 500 rose 1.75% to 7,395. The Nasdaq led gains, up 2.54% to 25,811. Oil fell 3% to around $86 on the Iran news. Three things driving markets today. First, Iran. President Trump canceled planned strikes on Thursday evening, saying a peace deal had been agreed in principle. WTI crude fell 3% to around $86. If the deal holds, energy prices continue to cool. And that means the CPI reading that spooked markets earlier this week starts to look like a peak rather than a trend. Second, Adobe. The company beat on every single metric last night. Revenue up 13% year over year, earnings per share above estimates, strong guidance for the full year, and yet the stock dropped 6.25% to close at $218.80, a fresh 52-week low. We cover the full story in today's chart of the day. Third, SPCX. SpaceX begins its first full trading session on Nasdaq today. IPO price was $135 per share. We do not have a verified closing price yet. That will be in tomorrow's recap. Let's dive into the most interesting topic, Adobe. Pull up the one-year daily chart and the story is right there in front of you. Every single moving average is pointing down. The EMA 20 at 245, the EMA 40 at 247, the MA 200 at 299, and the closing price on Thursday, $218.80, below every single one of them. This is a stock in a confirmed, sustained downtrend across every time frame. Look at the two key levels annotated on the chart. The first is labeled support broken/current resistance at around $231. That level used to hold the stock up. Now it is a ceiling pushing it back down. The second level is the psychology support level at $200. That is the next line in the sand. Adobe has not traded below $200 since 2022. If it breaks, that becomes the next conversation. Now look at the indicator chart. And this is where today's lesson is different from yesterday's Oracle story. The RSI on Thursday's close is 34.33. That is deep in oversold territory, below 40. The Williams percent R is minus 98.76, near minus 100, the most oversold reading possible. The MACD is minus 3.32 with a bearish cross and a red histogram expanding. Adobe beat on every number and still hit a 52-week low. Why? Because investors are asking one question that the numbers cannot answer yet. Is Adobe going to survive the AI disruption of creative software? Anthropic's Claude Design launched in April. Canva and Figma are growing. Adobe's own Firefly AI hit $250 million annualized, doubling year over year. But the market has decided, show me the acceleration or the stock goes lower. A beat is not enough when the thesis is broken. Three things to take away today. 1. Adobe beat earnings and hit a 52-week low on the same day. RSI was already oversold going in. This is not sell the news. This is a broken thesis trade. The market will not reward Adobe until it proves AI is growing its business, not shrinking it. 2. Iran deal in principle. Oil fell 3% on Thursday. If this holds, CPI cools, the Fed gets room to cut, and tech gets a tailwind. Watch the detail of any signed agreement very carefully. Every previous ceasefire since April has broken down within weeks. 3SPCX is trading today for the first time. First day closing price in tomorrow's recap. That is the number the whole market has been waiting for since February 2026, when SpaceX first filed. That is your Global Market Pulse Daily for June 12th, 2026. Subscribe for tomorrow's update, posted every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. Happy trading.